how did I come to own one of the most like notorious brands or famous brands in the falafel and hummus space, not just in Washington, D.C., but all over the world. A little bit of luck, a little bit of purpose, and a commitment to young people, a commitment to impact, and a commitment to a health-conscious, environmentally friendly product that could actually change the world. My name is Ahmed Ashkar. I'm Palestinian American. I'm 36 years old, and I'm the founder and CEO of Falafel Inc. My journey to Falafel Inc. is probably a not so normal one. After being born in the middle of America, literally a small town in small town USA called Leavenworth, Kansas, my family decided to go back home to Palestine. They had come to America to do the American dream thing. And so I spent those first 10 years, like we lived in Daffa, Amman, and then we ended up in Saudi, where my dad found a job. But then the Gulf War happened, and lo and behold, we found our way back to Kansas. Because we grew up in such a small town, my mom always made homemade falafel, homemade pita. You couldn't get khubz Arabi, Arabic bread, if you were living in Kansas. We literally were, out of 40 or 50,000 people living there, we were like the only Arabic family, nonetheless Palestinian, who have our special kind of pita pocket bread. So my mom used to literally wake up every Saturday and Sunday, and Miss Ashkar's house was known as the place by all my friends to get the most fire eats. So I grew up eating amazing, homemade, authentic food. I originally had the idea to start a falafel hummus shop probably when I was like 17 or 18. I thought that in America, the only reason I couldn't eat falafel hummus as good as the one I got in Palestine was because I lived in Kansas. But I discovered as I got to be older and started traveling to places like DC, LA, Chicago, New York, that it was really hard to find an affordable, delicious, and fresh falafel sandwich. I'm not gonna say that good falafel sandwiches didn't exist, but if they did, they were like $7, $8, $9. And I always thought that was like bullshit, that you had to pay that much money for a falafel sandwich. So I moved to Washington, D.C. in 2002, 2003. I said, one day I'm gonna open a falafel hummus shop and live out my childhood dream of bringing my mom and Tata's great food to the world, especially to Americans and non-traditional falafel eaters. So this restaurant went for sale in DC, and I was walking by, my wife actually was walking by Christmas of 2016, and she called me and she said, I think it's time to get your falafel shop open. So we just went to work. I used my social enterprise background, my startup, used that expertise and reinvented everything. I didn't ask myself how expensive I could make my falafel sandwich. I asked myself how cheap it could be. I didn't say how could I marginally help the poor through my business. I said, how can I maximize helping refugees? See, it's been one of my people right there. But enjoy.
I'm one of your people.
Enjoy. We're all brothers.
It is really awesome that every meal you purchase here helps a refugee in need. I totally support that mission, and I wish that more people knew about that.
I do love to know that every time I spend money on my food, I can also help somebody else.
When I additionally found out that every portion of every meal you purchase goes to feeding refugees globally, it was just a no-brainer. That's things I care about. Helping people through business, I think, is the future of the world.
So at Falafel Inc., with every meal you buy inside the store, we help feed a refugee. So you guys today, with the amount of money you spend, you fed one refugee for a day. Our business is designed where we don't even give away our money. We have the giving built into the business. We also hire refugees where we can, but you can be certain of one thing, that every time you eat at Falafel Inc., that a portion of the money you spend in our store will go to feed a refugee somewhere around the world. And we fed more than 200,000 refugees.
والله إشي كتير منيح، يعني تشجعت أنا للفكرة إنه مساعدة الناس، وفي كتير محتاجين ما بيلاقوا أكل. فمن ضمن هاي المشروع إنه صرنا نحكي مع الناس يجوا يساعدونا كيف يتبرعوا، وبنعطيهم نسبة منيحة، يعني كل $10 you spend here, we feed one refugee.
The 14, so the fresh.
I was shocked when I first saw, like, after the first couple of months, we had a 5-star perfect review on the internet. Because, you know, me being the first one, like, I'm so critical when I go to another restaurant and I eat falafel hummus. I'm like, oh, it's not as good as the real stuff. You know, like Abu Shbata in Amman is a very famous, like, falafel hummus spot. I always just say, like, oh, it's not as good as Abu Shbata's. Oh, it's not as good as the real deal. And, you know, I was as much of a hater on other people's falafel hummus as anyone else. And I was so humbled after we opened, like, 5-star review, 5-star review. And most of the reviews were coming from, like, our Palestinian diaspora. I think they're just supporting the idea of our cause. Being able to, like, say and promote, like, you're selling Palestinian-inspired street food, I think that's the most special part about the restaurant. It's the same food that I grew up eating. It's 100% unapologetically Palestinian, period.